here I thought I was connected to only one famous midget. It turns out there's another. I told you a story about taking a midget for a ride in my car, him standing up on the floor in the back seat of a fucking Scirocco, little Volkswagen speedster thing. But he wasn't famous. The second, as it turns out, but the first in my memory, famous midget that I ever knew was Jason Cunha. Died in the last year. The wee man, you know, from all that stuff. He hung out at the neighbor's house when I lived in San Jose there. And he was in total command of the situation. Andy Halstinson once said to me, he said, "Did you see that?" He said, "Come on, let's go." And everybody just left with him. This was a man that appreciated his place in life. They downplay it so much, but all he had to do is realize that he's a person and they're gonna fuck with him and he might as well enjoy himself. And you look at a guy like that as he's going down the middle of San Fernando Street, I believe it is, and he's got a line of traffic behind him and he's riding a skateboard, one-footed, with his hands in the air, and it's like he's leading a parade. You look at him and you look at the other midget that I knew on campus at the time. You'd see him in the store and he's like, ah! He was not enjoying his place in life. He didn't know how to make it excitable, make it fun. And so here there, I thought, I only knew one famous midget in my life, but then I'm going through my old things and I find this, you know, Taz. D-Day and I met this guy, drank beers with this guy in Deadwood, South Dakota on the way out to Fish, Alaska. Daniel Rogers with a D. And we were drinking with him and a Vietnam vet. So they're two war veterans, a midget, and D-Day go into a bar and they run into each other. What happens out of that, nobody ever really remembers. It was a very interesting thing. D-Day and I left after that. We went and sat in some bar across the road. I was loaded, I can hardly remember anything. And he won. I have no idea how much money he won. He just went, yeah, we paid for our drinking for the night. And so that might have been $200, it might have been $73. I have no idea. People were giving us drinks all over the place. Well, from the start. And there he is. We walked out of there after that. We were lost, had the car parked in the parking lot. It had been pouring rain, and we walked up this hill, and I went back through South Deadwood a couple of years ago. And I went by the place, and I said, how in the world did we get up there? And I drove up there, and it was just like, oh my gosh. And we walked up on that hill by the cemetery. And we both, the next day, we said there was somebody else there, right? Yeah. No, I have no idea. There was another person there that was never there. There's another person there that was never there. We got walked up this road to this cemetery side thing, and I looked and I said, there's my car down there. And he's like, okay. So we start going down this hillside after pouring rain. But that guy was with us the whole time. And all of a sudden we just went, we were sliding through the fucking trees. Ah! And I came to a stop, and he went blowing by me and came to a stop a little bit further down. And he's like, my glasses. And I looked, and they were right at my feet. I said, I got them. And he said, okay. And he's like, my wallet. And I said, I don't know anything about that. And then in the morning, he found his wallet, and we moved along, and he faked like he didn't get a shower at Devil's Tower because I was getting in that Montana River or wherever the fuck we were, and it was cold as fuck, and he didn't want me to suffer alone. Nice guy. But that night, because of that night, I realized Daniel Rogers having given me his card. Why for you burying me in the cold, cold ground? That's my Tasmanian devil impression. Daniel Rogers gave me this card, and I found it, and I took a picture of it and sent it to D-Day, and he sends me back the thing. He was an Ewok. He was in the movie Under the Rainbow in 1981, and he was in some other movie. Oh, this is Spinal Tap. This guy gave me his card, and he was famous. So now I know 2 famous midgets.